Hey guys, what's up? So we are in my backyard today. The reason for that is because we will be repotting this ginormous Gloriosum that has obviously been fairly neglected, and it's dropped several leaves for me already. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna repot this and how I've gotten it to grow so big, and hopefully I can stop it from yellowing, because this one is starting to yellow a little bit, and honestly I think it's because it's a little bit root bound. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out of the pot and show you what it looks like. Alright, so this is what we're working with today, and my apologies in advance if the background noise is really loud. I had to take this guy outside because it did need to be cut and rinsed outside. My sink and bathtub just can't handle it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just remove these dead parts here. And I'm actually gonna just take it straight out of the container and see what the roots look like. Oh, yeah. It definitely needed to be repotted. I'm so sorry. My poor Gloriosum. Okay. So, I see what the problem is. The problem is that it's very root bound, and yeah, I'm gonna just take good care of this guy right now. So right now, I'm actually just gonna dump all the soil into here and just check the roots more thoroughly. So as you can see, the roots look really good, to be honest. I think the problem with this plant was that it was very root bound, and those leaves that had actually died off were older leaves. So I'm not too concerned about it because there's lots of growth points happening right now. And once I get the roots untangled, I'll show you what they look like. Alright, so this is what we're working with. This is the mother plant, and as you can see, the roots are substantial. And this guy is actually the little chunk that I had cut way back when, I think it was last year. So you can see that it has 2 new leaves and a growth point here. So what I'm actually gonna do now is cut off this chunk, because it's actually very hollow and it serves no purpose anymore because the roots are growing forward. So it's growing this way. So these roots are good, but this has served its purpose. So I'm actually gonna clip this off and throw it away. So now this piece right here can actually be tossed. You can't really grow anything out of it anymore because the activated node that came from here had already grown into this. So this is, you know, this can be discarded now. So this is what I'm left with. I'm just gonna let it kind of sit around for a little bit, and I'm gonna take care of the mother plant. Alright, so this is the mother plant, and as you can see, the roots are very substantial. It's quite a bit. So I think the yellowing leaves were because it was so root bound, but it's okay. I'm actually gonna freshen it up. And what I'm actually gonna do is, because the original leaves have already fallen off, I'm actually gonna cut it and save the chunks. And I'll show you how I'm gonna do that in just a moment. First, I'm gonna just go ahead and cut it right here. And this piece is gonna be planted back in the pot. Okay, so I'm actually gonna freshen up the soil here and add some more of this soil. This is the brand that I like to use. Because Gloriosums are crawlers, this pot is actually very helpful, and I do really love this this pot, and so do you guys, because I keep getting asked where do I get my pot. So I'll go ahead and link it down below for you and figure out how I'm going to keep this up. So I'm probably gonna plant it like this and anchor it down with one of my sticks. And this I'll probably plant on the other side so it can growing across as well. I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and do this, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And here's the finished product, minus the dying leaves back there. So I did give it a good rinse, and I'm probably gonna leave it outside because it's such a hot and humid day today. So yeah, that's the finished product. And down over here is the new growth, so I can't wait to see how that's going to look. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with it, and I hope the plant is much happier now that it's in a new, well, not a new, but you know, the soil is freshened up and it has more room to grow. Okay, so here's the stump, and I'm actually debating on if I even want to propagate this, just because I've done so many and my collection has grown, and I don't know, it's just kind of almost time consuming to propagate these, but I guess I've never shown you guys on YouTube, so I don't know, I guess do it for the content. But in any case, how to propagate this chunk is very easy. All you have to do is look for the activated node. So I showed you before, there's one here and there's several underneath. So that's one as well, this one right here, and that red spot over there. So what you essentially want to do is figure out where the nodes are and then cut. So you're gonna cut here and here so that you can get this node to be activated. So I'll go ahead and cut for you and show you how that looks afterwards. Alright, so here are all the possible baby gloriosums that you can have. There's 5 here, and the nodes are all in different places. So for example, this one right here, it's actually underneath. So originally the rhizome was growing like this, and now that I've cut it, it's actually going to sprout from under here. So what you can actually do is just plant it in soil like this and bag it, and it'll just do its thing. Now the ones that are actually kind of on top, like this one, you can't really see, it looks a little crusty. This one needs a little bit more love, but basically if you stick it in soil and top it with some moss, that humidity is going to activate this node. So this one's on the bottom, this one's on top, this one's also on the bottom. I find that the ones on the bottom won't really have an issue, but honestly none of them have issues. I haven't had a rhizome chunk that failed me with this method. This one is on top, and where's this one? I think it's on top. Yeah, this one looks a little bit crusty, but you know, something will grow from there. But in any case, what you can do now is just stick it in soil, bag it, and you have gloriosums like this. Okay, so now on to my care tips and how I take care of this giant gloriosum. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but my gloriosum is a dark form and it's currently residing in front of a west-facing window. With that said, it's not right in front of the window, it is a little bit further back, and the reason for that is because if it's not further back, what's going to end up happening is that light is going to fade the dark green. So like I said, my gloriosum is a dark form gloriosum, so when it looks a little bit faded and a little bit yellow, it's probably because it's been in front of a window for too long. So I actually move it further away from the window. Now, because this gloriosum is so big, it is residing at normal room temperature, normal humidity, and I'm pretty sure it's getting blasted with cold air, but you know, it's doing fine. I think it's doing just fine. Now, the chunks that I showed you guys earlier, those will be potted up in soil, and I'm probably gonna bag them all. That way, it keeps the humidity and activate the node. Once those nodes are activated, I'll do an update and I guess show you guys what they look like and find new homes for them. So the video is very short and sweet, but in any case, I hope you guys had a great day and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.